So as you guys know, Genshin Pack 1.2 update is coming out very soon, and coming with the update is a new 5-star character, Albedo. I'm mainly making this video to look at his kit, and also to tell my thoughts on this character and why I'm a bit worried about him, because his kit isn't looking too good for his character set. What I mean by that is his kit is quite conflicting with the Geo element, and doesn't really match well with any other element as well. Also, take this video with a huge grain of salt because the character is currently unreleased and his numbers could change. And I might just be wrong. Like, it could just be like super amazing. First thing I want to talk about is Albedo's role set. I believe he is to be a support DPS or a support. And his numbers suggest so. If you look at his base attack at level 90 versus, let's say, a DPS like Diluc or like Klee, you can see a massive difference that his base attack at level 90 is a lot lower than those two other DPSs. And if you look at his normal attack scaling, it is also really low. At level 6, it's going to be like 60% for a hit. And Diluc and stuff easily goes over 100. So he's definitely a main DPS. And I would think that he is a support DPS. So if you want to look at him as a support DPS, we can probably compare him to Zhongli, which is also a support DPS with his meteors. And I want to argue that Albedo might not even be as good as Zhongli. And you guys don't know, Zhongli is getting roasted pretty hard right now. And if Albedo is worse than him, I don't really know what to say. So first we can compare the E ability of Albedo versus Zhongli. Now, Zhongli's E is pretty garbage as we know. It does like 40% scaling at level 6. And like, it's pretty bad. Albedo is way better because there's a bigger AoE. And it does like way more damage. It's like 100% at level 6 or something. Which is way better. And when I look at the preview, I think it pulses about the same rate as Zhongli. So Albedo would be doing a lot more damage with his E. Now if you look at it this way, his E is actually not bad. Like, he also has a Transient Blossom, which can do more AoE damage. But when you look at like elemental reactions, since he's a Geo, he can't do any elemental reaction. So his damage is going to be hindered a lot because of that. And that could be a really bad thing because, you know, other supports might come in with better ability than him with elemental reaction. Now we're going to compare their ult. Zhongli's ult at level 6 has a 640% attack multiplier, I believe. And it also stuns the enemy for a few seconds. Now that is very useful in like Spiral Burst and stuff. Albedo, on the other hand, at level 6, only does about 500% damage with his ult. Now, they'll both cost 40 energy and has a 12-second cooldown, right? But the thing about Albedo is, if he has his E active on field, his ult will do more damage. Because when it's kind of like Ningguang, when you ult with Albedo with his E on field, you get extra like blossoms that burst into damage. That does 100% damage. Now, there's 7 of them as summons. I'm not exactly sure how they summon. Are they summoning around like a circle or something? But assuming, this is very optimistic, assuming they will hit the same like one enemy, it would do a lot more damage than Zhongli. But you have to assume the fact that every blossom that generated hits one single target, which is probably not going to be the case. They're going to be like spread out in a circle. So the damage is, I say, could be on par because Zhongli also has a HP scaling, which Albedo does not have until C2. He gets a 30% defense scaling when he reaches C2, which could be good, but it's only 30%. I'm not sure if that changes a lot. Plus, that's C2 as well. That's kind of pretty expensive. Now, another reason why I think Zhongli might be slightly better than Albedo is Zhongli provides a shield, which Albedo does not provide. And, you know, if you run your double Geo, you got the shield, you do extra damage. And it's just a very nice safety layer to have from those like Electro Hammer and, you know, the 2 redos. So if we compare them together now, you can see that Albedo potentially can do more damage. Not by a whole bunch, I think, because they're both Geo, can't do a lot of elemental reaction damage. So, but Zhongli wins out by a lot in the actual support department, you know, providing a shield for the double Geo, you know, damage boost and, you know, stun the enemy. That is very huge for, you know, Spiral Burst and things. Now, this is not the worst. I have another big problem with Albedo, and that is his kit synergy. What I mean by like a bad kit synergy is that he is a Geo element. So he is supposed to be good with you know, Geo characters. But he's not. In his Ascension 4, he gets a 125% elemental mastery boost for the whole team for 12 seconds when he uses ult. Now this is where a problem comes in. Elemental mastery for a Geo character is basically completely useless. If you guys don't know yet, elemental mastery provides basically a shield strength boost for the crystallized reaction shield generated. Like, it is pretty much useless. So in order to benefit of this 125 elemental mastery boost, you need to run Albedo in a non-Geo team. Which is already a really bad thing because Geo doesn't provide anything for the team unless you're running a double Geo, which then they can provide energy regen and extra damage from shields. But if you're running Albedo in like a Klee team or whatever, yeah, sure, you might get a nice elemental mastery buff, but somebody else, such as, you know, Chi-Chi or Chungyun, which can provide ice for Klee to do a melt reaction, is going to be way more beneficial than Albedo's 125 elemental mastery. And you also got to think about that 125 elemental mastery, right? You got to be doing reactions to benefit off of it. But if you're using Albedo on your team, you could be, you know, losing a reaction support. You know, that's less reaction, so you might be even losing damage. And you also got to take into account the fact that you're generating geoparticle. Like, if I have Klee, I'd rather run Bennett because I can generate fire particles. And his Bennett's ult's pretty OP, and that's a 4-star. Now, Albedo, it generates geoparticle. I mean, the elemental mastery is nice, but Sucrose is better. It's like, do I really want him on a non-Geo team? So you can just say, oh yeah, I'll just run him on a Geo team, a double Geo with Lightning Gong or something. But the elemental mastery boost is a core part of his kit. And, you know, if you can't utilize his kit, then why have it in the first place? You're just wasting potential for the character. It's like, you know, wasted. But even if you run him in the Geo team, I would rather run Zhongli in my Geo team because Zhongli provides a shield, which is very nice, and has a stun effect for like the Fatui Hammerheads guys like in the Spiral Abyss, which could be very good. Albedo doesn't provide any of that. And this elevator is basically useless. It's only useful for Catalyst and Bow users. Like, if you have a D-Look, the elevator is useless. Like, if you have anybody, Zhongli, Noel, only it's good for like Ningguang or Klee. But then I'm still questioning like the practicality of having an elevator in the middle of the battlefield, standing on top of it. Do you really avoid damage? It could be good, but it's so like situational for like Catalyst and Bow users only. So, I'm not sure. It just seems like a gimmick, but it might be amazing. I'm not sure. So, talking about all of this, like, there's only like basically one character that can utilize this whole kit, and that is Klee. With, you know, the element mastery, that would be nice, and the elevator, it might be nice as well. But the thing is, Klee doesn't want Albedo. You can run Qingqiu with a Klee team. You do the Vaporize, it does way more damage than how much ever Albedo's ult can do. And, you know, a Sucrose for the elemental mastery would be very nice as well. Or just a Chi-Chi, you know, just to give that ice melt reaction to get 2 times damage. They all do way more damage than, you know, the Albedo solo, you know, ult provide probably. I'm just guessing, obviously, by the numbers and stuff, but he could be amazing for some other purpose, which I have not realized yet, but for me right now, I don't think he's looking too good. So if you think about it this way, like if you're comparing Zhongli with Albedo, and you know Zhongli is already kind of like a bad character, judging by the community, right? And if Albedo is not far off from him, which I don't think he is that good. He is kind of close to like Zhongli level of, you know, power, because he's Geo, can't do elemental reaction, so his damage is not going to be huge. It's slightly better than Zhongli, yeah, but it's not going to be nowhere as good as, you know, like somebody else that actually does reactions. And him as a support to provide utility is also very limited. Like, he has his elevator, that I think is pretty gimmicky. He has his elemental mastery boost, which is completely useless for a Geo team, and there's better alternatives for a non-Geo team than Albedo. So I feel like he's in a very like awkward position of like not being very good for any team. But, you know, this might be wrong, you know, that's just like a pre-launch thought. I have no idea how the character's going to turn out, and I might just be completely wrong. Now, there's one last thing I gotta say. This is making the situation worse and worse, but judging by the leak information, the next banner has a high potential for the 4 stars to be Barbara, Lisa, and Bennett. Now, Bennett is amazing, right? But Lisa and Barbara, we already have a free Barbara and nobody wants Lisa. So when you roll on banner, you should both consider the 5-star and the 4-star. Now, the 5-star I don't think is gonna be too amazing. The 4-stars are not too amazing neither. So TLDR is, I don't think he's gonna be a good character. He could be similar poutage only, and he's gonna get roasted hard by the community. And you should definitely wait until, you know, the YouTubers review the character before you decide to roll for him. And that's pretty much all I've got to say for this thoughts video on Albedo. And yeah, see ya. To side note, apparently Johnny might be getting buffed in 1.2. And also, if you guys want a floor 9-star guide, I'll be making that very soon. So be sure to subscribe. And yeah.